It's all right. My computer did something strange then. I'm back. Yeah, it's super muggy here. I'm not sure what happened overnight, but it's gone really, really grey, but still warm, but not anything like it was yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit mad. Oh no, Androni's been bitten by a wasp. We've got so many about at the moment. It's absolutely, absolutely mad. Laura says vinegar on the sting helps. So there you go. You've got a bit of advice already. Hopefully that will help. Hope you're all keeping well, guys. So remember, we've got you can still download your sheets. They look like this. They're available from the members section of the website. You'll also find them in a link in the description and on YouTube as well. And just a reminder, we're doing these Melodic Mondays every other week now, which would be nice. So yeah, supposed to rain each day of a week for a week in Maryland. Oh, there we go. There you go. I'll tell you what, our garden is absolutely desperate for it, so it would be quite nice to have a bit of rain. I have been using the hose pipe a bit. We haven't got a ban here yet. Oh, thanks, Linda. Yeah, I had a scary incident in my car. Some of you might have seen on my personal Facebook profile. It was really scary. I was driving on the way to do some butterfly spotting in the woods near Swindon. And I was going down a dual carriageway, 70 miles an hour. And let this be a lesson to you to keep everything tethered. So I was driving I was on my own, and I wound down the front window, and then I also did the electric on the back window where Bobby normally sits, just to let a bit of air through. And we had 3 Pack-a-Mac poncho type things just made out of plastic bags, and they all became airborne in an instant. 2 of them covered the windscreen, so I literally couldn't see a thing out the front window. The other one plastered itself so tightly to my face that I couldn't breathe. It was absolutely terrifying. It's like a proper kind of final destination moment. And then I remembered I had my driving instructor from years and years ago, Edgar, in my ear, telling me to stay calm, and I pumped the brakes 3 times, just enough to slow me down. Thankfully, there's no one behind me. Basically mounted the soft verge like this, so my car was like this, and then I managed to get all the stuff off, and I could breathe again. And there wasn't a scratch on me or the car, but I was very lucky. There is a bridge section about a mile on, and I genuinely think if it would have happened there, I probably would have gone off the side, and that would have been that. But I'm here, and what do they say? It's kind of these things, they make you want to live life every day, don't they, and enjoy it. So let's make sure we do that for a bit of nice uking tonight, and I can calm down. Just a few things to tell you about. Of course, every other Monday we've got a Canicapila Monday. So our next one is coming up in a week's time. And I've gone absolutely Beatles nuts recently. I don't know why. I've just really, every now and then, every couple of years, I get completely obsessed with the Fab Four, and I listen to all their records. I watch the anthology again, every documentary I can find, every magazine article, and oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, so I'm in a major Beatles one at the moment, and of course we've got some nice Beatles songs coming up in the Beatles course. So with that in mind, our next Canicapila is going to be a Beatles special. So in a week's time, come and join me on a Monday, the same time as it is tonight, and we'll sing some Beatles songs, and I'll teach you to play them off by heart. Similarly, there is a new Beatles song available, full hour tutorial lesson on the Beatles course, which you'll find on my website, mattsteadukulele.com. I had loads of fun doing this one. I even worked out that little mellotron solo. See if I can remember it off by heart, that kind of... Isn't that fun? So that's on the Beatles course if you're interested, which is a whole heap of fun. And then the next live lesson, guess what? More Beatles. We're going to do this on July the 3rd. I'm so sorry if there's anyone that absolutely hates the Beatles out there. I mean, obviously, you're wrong. But we'll be back. Normal service will be resumed soon anyway, so it won't be Beatles forever. So, yeah. Although I was thinking about doing a Beatles set at Shriekfest, which is coming up soon. If anyone's in the UK and they'd like to come and see me play live, thanks for the countdown again, Harry. I'm playing Shriekfest 1st to the 3rd of August, and I'm doing the Saturday afternoon if anyone's interested. And whilst we've got the countdowns, it's only 214 days till the next cruise. Actually, that doesn't sound that long away, does it? So very, very exciting. All the details on my website. Come and join me in the sunshine in the Caribbean when you're bored of winter in February. It's going to be loads and loads of fun. Okay then, guys, right, let's have a look at what we're doing tonight. We can always take a pause in the middle to have a bit of a breather. Also, don't forget, do join in the community chat if you'd like to. Just make sure you've got live chat enabled, then you can chat away with all these lovely people. And have lots of fun, and please do ask lots of questions as well. Oh, don't worry, Laura, you can always watch it on catch up, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the tall ships though. That does sound very cool. We sometimes get them in Gloucester docks here, Laura, which I absolutely love. So yeah, you'll have loads of fun. So this is a kind of real old time tune, this one, I'll Fly Away. It goes back longer than this, but the kind of version that made it really, really popular was the Carter family version. And A.P. Carter, the father from the Carter family, he used to go off just kind of finding these songs and talking to people all around the kind of Blue Ridge Mountains and everything. And this is one of the ones he discovered. And a lot of people think of this as a Carter family song, along with things like Wildwood Flower. A brilliant piece of music, and really, really nice. It's really just simple 3 chords, which is really, really easy, and a beautiful melody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you the melody first, then we'll have a look at the chords, and then we'll put it together to do a really kind of cool chord melody version. Let me just see if I can pop my camera here. Let's see if I can just do a little playthrough so you can get the idea. This is with a few of those kind of claw hammer-esque licks, if you like this version. Sort of. Okay, here we go. Loads of mistakes in there just to prove that I go wrong as well. I practiced this on my tenor earlier, and now I just really wanted to play my little soprano on this one, so my big fat fingers kept going wrong there. Sorry guys, but hopefully you got the gist of that. Oh, thanks Leslie. I kind of wanted to go for that old time vibe, you know, it just kind of suits it, doesn't it? And I think a little soprano ukulele works really well with that. So yeah. Oh gosh, forest fires raging in Manitoba. Goodness, stay safe, Karen, and I hope they calm down. So yeah, crazy. Right, let's have a look. Well, don't worry, Indrani, because that's where I come in. It's way more simple than it looks, even with those kind of little claw hammer things, which I'm going to show you later on. And this is a lovely one where even if you don't do the claw hammer stuff, it still sounds really great with this up-down pick, which is really good fun and really simple to do. And I'll show you how. So what I want to do first is just go over the basic melody. So if you have a look at the tablature, I'll keep this on screen, but obviously if you've got one you can print out bigger, you'll find this a little bit easier. Now, I haven't picked out the melody on its own essentially here, but what we're going to do is use the tablature to find it and a bit of kind of working through the C major scale. So this one, I've done it in the key of C. The Carter family one that I listen to is in the key of G, but I like it in C on ukulele. So let's just remind ourselves of the C major scale. We've got low C here, 2nd fret for D, open E, 1st fret for F, 3rd fret for G, open A, 2nd fret for B, and 3rd fret for C. It's probably the scale that most people know quite well. No sharps and flats, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. But you might have noticed that a lot of this song uses some notes really high up in the next register or next octave, if you like. So let's see if we can make that scale go even higher. What I want you to do is start with your 1st finger here on the 3rd fret of the A string. Then we're going to go to our next dots here for this D note. Next set of dots for the E note. Then we're going to play the F note, which is here. Notice I'm resetting my fingers. That's the 8th fret. Next set of dots for G at 10. We can go up 2 further if your uke will allow it to B. And then we can go up, A, and then we can go up 2 more for B and 1 more for C. Now we're really getting stratospheric. You'd be glad to know we're not going past the 10th fret today, so we don't need to go too high. Let's just do it up to 10 again. So we're going to go from C here, 3, 5 is D, and then 7 is E, 8 is F, and let's just go up to 10 for G. All right, so those are all the notes that we're going to use today, and the entire song is made up of those notes. If you have a look at the sheet music, there's no sharps and flats, and that's kind of a key if you're not sure, to let you know that it stays within the 7 notes of the key of C. Let's have a look at the melody then, see if we can work it out a little bit by ear, but also using the sheets. So it starts off at the 7th fret of the A string for this high E note. Then we come back here to the 3rd fret for a C, move up to the 3rd fret of the E string for G, and then back to that 3rd fret again. You'll probably recognise that. One fine morning. Okay, so that's the opening phrase, if you like. I actually quite like to just keep one finger there across the 2 strings. And notice I can hit all those really nicely. Now, what I want you to do, if you can, is just use either your thumb to pick down for these, or better still for something that's going to happen later, is to use your index finger to pick up like this. You'll see why in a little while, okay? All right, let's try that one more time together. 3, 4. Then the next bit we're going to do is going to go up the fretboard, and this bit's a little bit kind of faster. There's a note on every other beat basically, or every half beat I should say. So we go 7, 5, 7, 8. That's E, D, E, F. That will look like this. And then we'll come back to this E and back to the D. Okay, so I'm going to play 7, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5. Let's give it a try. 2, 3, 4. Really good. Let's put that together with the first bit. 2, 3, 4. Follow me. 7, 3. 3 on the E string, 3 on the A string, and then what we just did, 7, 5, 7, 8, 7 and 5. Then we'll come down to 3. We'll hit this a few more times. Open A, and then G on the E string, 3rd fret. Yeah, really nice, right? Let's put all that together from the start. 2, 3, 4. Seven, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5. Then we'll bring it back down to 3. Off, 3 on the next string. Okay. And then we go again. 7, 5. Sorry, 3. I told a lie. 3 on the next one. 3. 7, 5. 7, 8. 7, 5. And then this time we're going to do 7 again. 5, 2. And to the C again. Okay. That's your basic melody that's happening in the verse. We'll tackle the chorus in just a second. Now let's have a look at the chords here. And this is a real key skill that I'd love you guys to develop as we do more of this chord melody work. Things that we do on the fingerstyle course as well is to look at the tablature and see if you can spot chords within the tablature. Let me know in the comments if you can spot any just by looking at the numbers. Can you think, that could be a type of chord? The first ones are a little bit unusual because if you look at the first measure, can you see how we've got that 7, then we've got a chord that goes 0, 0, 0, 7. That kind of tricks a few people because that looks like this. But actually it's just a C chord because the notes that make up a C major chord are C, E, G, and then we repeat a note. Normally when we play a C, we repeat a C. A high C and a low C. When we do this chord up here, 0, 0, 0, 7, we're actually still doing a C chord because we've got C, E, G, and then we're playing another E. So we've got, this time we've got a low E and a high E, okay? Like we had a low C and a high C before. So it's another way of playing a C, which is interesting. So the first few chords up to measure 1, 2, 3, 4, up to measure 5 are C chords, right? Just really straightforward. That's the lovely thing about playing this in the key of C and why I arranged it this way. Because if I come up close again, when you play a melody note, we can strum down straight afterwards and it works because it's a C chord. Isn't that cool? Let me teach you how to do that. It's really, really simple. What we're going to do is we're going to play that melody that we played a minute ago, just to put it in your head. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to play that melody, and for the melody notes, most of them we're going to pick up with our index finger, okay? And then after we've picked up with our index finger, what we're going to do is we're going to strum down really lightly with the nails of our picking hand, like this. See how you get the melody note? 1, but you also get a nice chord backing. So we can do that at 7. Now for the next one, I tend to actually just put my finger down over the bottom 2 strings because it still works as a C chord. Technically it's a C5, but it still works. And I'll pick up. And the nice thing is I can just pick that note, the 3rd fret of the E string, because my finger's covering it. And then I can pick the note on the A string. Do you see what I mean? So I can hit this. Now the trick to get it sounding really, really nice is to keep your down strums really light but quite fast and pick up quite strongly with your index finger. So we get this kind of two-tone finger, and have a listen. I might even be a bit lighter on those down strums, because really it's the melody notes we want to hear. That one fine morning. Okay, so that's relatively simple. Let's do that slowly together. So 7 strum, 3 strum, 3 on the next string strum, 3 on the A string strum. Okay. If you're into your music, that's going to be E, C, G, C, all the notes that make up the C chord, right? Now this is where things get really cool, and I love this. It's one of my favourite ways of playing this, because it kind of sounds like you've got 2 ukuleles playing at the same time. It's really, really neat. What we're going to do is we're going to keep strumming up and down, but this time the melody notes are going to be played at the same time as the chord. So at the moment we've got melody note chord, melody note chord, melody note chord, right? But this time we're going to play melody note and then a chord which contains the melody note, which is this D note here. And we're going to do the same here. Do you see how that gives you the melody? If I just do the first bit, including the opening measures. One fine morning, when this day is over. Apologise for the terrible singing, but you get an idea. You hear the melody and the chords coming at the same time. So let's look at that. We're going to go from the third measure where it goes 7, 5, 7, 8. Only this time, after you pick, you're going to strum down all the way on the 5th fret. You're going to pick the 7 and you're going to strum down an A. Okay, so that'll be. Okay, let's try that. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, really nice, right? It's not too bad, is it? And this is the thing. Indrani was saying, oh, she knows the song. She's just doubting her ability. Indrani, you're much better than you think anyway. You'll be absolutely fine. But this is a brilliant thing, right? It sounds really fancy pants, but actually a technique's not that bad at all. So the key thing is to practice really slowly and kind of build up your confidence as you go. Now I counted into 4 then, but if I'm a proper pedant, instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, I should have counted 1 and 2 and, because this song's in cut time. That means kind of, it's like 4, 4, but only with 2 beats. So rather than 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we cut that in half. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Doesn't really matter too much. It just means that we've got a very even sounding beat, which is really, really common in old time music. Should we see if we can piece the whole of that first bit together? Let me play it once and then we'll do it all together. So right from the start, it'll sound like this. Notice I'm really following through on those chords with the melody notes in. Let's try it together, coming after 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Okay, and you can go that slow. You could start to speed it up a little bit. Go a little bit faster again. But notice like the faster you go, the more cohesive it sounds, but you've got to start slow to be able to get it comfortably and then kind of beef it up from there. Right, now this is going to be, I don't know if this is going to work because there's a bit of a delay with your comments coming through, but let's see who can guess the next chord. It's on measure 1, 2, 3, 4, measure 5. What do we reckon that chord might be on measure 5? So from kind of bottom to top tab wise, it's the bit that says 2013, 2013, or if you're reading it the other way around, 3102. Have a think about what chord that can be. And just whilst I'm waiting for this to come through, I'll just play that first bit again. Really sweet, isn't it? It's really, really sweet. Yay, we got some responses. Linda, you win the Teacher's Pet Award. Well done. An F chord. And Laura as well. Absolutely fantastic. You got it. Yeah, you guys got it. This is a really key skill that I want you guys to develop when you're learning these chord melody pieces. If you have a look at that measure, I'll try and make it really big and I'll kind of bring it down here a bit. So, oh no, I made it disappear. I went too big. Let me see if I can get it a bit bigger. There we go. There we go. So you'll notice there, if you think about it, we've got that 201 and then the 3. And whenever you get a 201 in chord melody, in terms of like tablature wise, it's gonna look like this. Well done, Liam. Yeah. Kind of, I can see why you think G minor, Karen, because the G minor's got that 2 and the 1 as well, hasn't it? But yeah, we've got an F chord up there like so. So whenever you see a 2, 0 and 1 on tablature, you can almost automatically think F chord. And this one, we're doing something slightly different. Let me just bring it up here, make it back to normal size so I can show you. We're also adding, this is the 3, we're adding our little finger. You could use your little finger or your third. I find it easier with my little finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. It's actually still just a normal F chord because the notes that make up F as an F major chord are F there, A up here, a C here, and then normally we repeat an A. So a normal F chord, if you like, on the uke, we have 2 A's. But when we do this, it's still an F chord because we've still got F, we've still got A, we've still got C, but we've also got another C, 2 C's. So that's a perfectly valid F chord as well. Sometimes that will be written as F/C, but it's not quite totally right if they do that, because generally F slash chords suggest that the second note is in the bass. Don't worry about the theory and all that. But yeah, that if you ever see F/C on the ukulele, that's generally what they're telling you to do. But yeah, just normal F chord. So this next bit's really easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Oh, don't worry, Karen. Yeah, it can be really useful to blow it up, can't it? Make it bigger. Not like, but yeah, bigger. Totally get that. I find this one quite confusing for the eyes because there's so many numbers so close together, isn't there? So yeah, I'll quite often have it on my iPad and then I'll turn my iPad sideways so it kind of it's easier to read. So let me go back to close camera. So basically for these first 3 F chords, what you can do is just pick up on the A string, strum down, and you're going to do that 3 times. And then the 4th one, you're going to take your finger away and you're going to put it back down on the down strum. I'll show you what that looks like. Now that's really crucial, that lifting off and on and putting it on in time, because that's the melody line. Fly, so that fly is really important in the melody. Fly. Let's try that from the F chord all together really slowly. 1 and 2 and then off on. Okay. Notice that I'm just keeping that pattern of up picking and down strumming going. Really neat, isn't it? Indrani's got a question. How do I get from the 005 to the 203? I guess there's a couple of ways you can think about it. Let's have a look at where we are with that 5 and think about what finger we're probably using. Actually, I keep that on so people can see your question, Indrani. So we've just done this. Sorry. So we're probably going to be on our first or second fingers on that note, right? What I would do is I would then reach back and put your pinky down first and then your 2 fingers for the F chord. So you've gone from here and then just hit that one. Now that looks like quite a big movement because you've got your first finger going to your little finger. But the cool thing about it is because that F chord it comes in after this note, doesn't it? Like that. It does buy you a bit of time. I'll show you what I mean. Here it comes. As long as I get that one down in time, I've got a little bit of time. You're only talking like half a second or something, but it gives your brain time enough to put that F chord down. And again, I know I sound like a broken record. Do take it really slowly. Practice this really slowly and build up the tempo, and you'll build up that muscle memory. You'll be fine. To finish off that phrase, it's actually not too bad at all. After we've done all these F bits that we were just practicing, the easiest thing I find is just to go to a double bar, so 1 finger over the bottom 2 strings at the 3rd fret. Like that, okay? Doesn't really matter too much where you strum to because you're just suggesting a chord with the down strums. If you hit the A string, it's fine. If you don't, it's also fine. Now that, believe it or not, is more than, it's probably about 3/4 of the song because this is just repeated again and again and again for the verses. So let's go through it slowly from the start. Okay, let me come in on close camera. You can always, when you watch the replay, pause this on each section and do a little bit at a time. But let's try it. Remember, I'm going to put that finger down from the start here so that I can hit the 2 notes on the 3rd fret. Okay, so it'll look and sound something like this. Join in if you think you've got it. 1 and 2 and 7. Strum. 3. Strum. 3 on the next one. Strum. 3. Strum. 7. 5. 7. 8. 7. 5. F chord with your little finger. Do it 3 times like that. Off on. And then we're going to go back to this one. We're going to pick that E string. Okay, let me know how you got on with that, guys. Let me do that slightly quicker just so you can hear what it sounds like when it's that little bit quicker. It's really nice, isn't it? It almost sounds like 2 ukes. You've got one doing the, and then you've got another one doing the backbeat, which is often in an old time band, it'd be the mandolin player hitting that offbeat strum. Sounds really, really nice. Now that gives you basically the first 8 measures. You can think of this in little sections of 8 measures at a time. So if you have a look, that takes you through to the first measure of the second line, where we've got measure 8. Well, the next bit is exactly the same thing, apart from the ending. It's almost exactly the same. So if we go from measure 9, let me again talk you through it really, really slowly. Pretty much the same thing at the start. We have 7 in a strum, 3 in strum, 3 on the G string and strum, and 3 again. Okay, so that's exactly the same as the opening. Okay. Then we've got the same bit as before. 7, 5, 7, 8, 7. Only this time we stay on that 7. Okay. Then we hit it a couple more times. Our finger comes back to 5 here. I like to use my 3rd finger. And then as soon as we do that, you drag it back to 1. Sorry, to 2. I'm being daft. And strum a G7. 5, strum a G7. Like that. And then we can just resolve it to that nice C5 again. And again, what I want you to do is have a think about that measure. Where is it? It's the penultimate measure of the 2nd line. Really get used to those numbers where you're seeing 0, 2, 1, 2. Think G7. 0, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so 0, 2, 1, and 2. That gives us our G7 shape, which is really nice. And when you can start to kind of instantly see in tabs, when you can start to see chords and think of them like that, it really helps you to play pieces quickly, even if the chords aren't written above, which is really, it's kind of a powerful thing, right? Which is really, really cool. So let's try that. We're going to go from measure 9 now, and then we'll take a little break and see how everyone's doing. And then I'll show you the B section. So let's give it a go. Okay. So we're going to start from 7 again, and this is measure 9, 2nd measure of the 2nd line. Here we go. Get this finger ready as well so it can hit these 2 notes at the 3rd fret. Here we go. So 7, strum, 3, strum, G, strum, 3, 7, strum 5, 7, strum 8, and then 7, stay on this. Then we're going to hit it 3 more times. 1, 2, 3, 5th fret, straight down to G7, and then a lovely resolution to that C chord. Let's try that one more time then from measure 9. 1 and 2 and 7, 3, 3 on the E string, 3, 7, 5, 7, 8, 7, 3 more of these, 1, 2, 3, 5, strum down a G7, and then we can finish. You can either use a bar or 2 fingers for this bit. Yeah, really nice, absolutely fantastic. Now that's all of the verse done. I'm gonna pause here for a second. Then I'll show you how to do the B section, the bridge or the chorus, which is really, really sweet. It's really, really cool. Exactly the same process again, but it sounds great. And then after that, I'll show you, if you want to, how you can kind of make it a little bit more claw hammery with some up picks. It's not quite full claw hammer, because full claw hammer, you'd be coming down with this hand like this. So I'm rather than doing down, which is slightly, can sound a bit aggressive sounding, I'm picking up with the melody notes. Okay, and when I put the little bum ditties in, it sounds really sweet. So we get that. Sorry. I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. It sounds really cool, doesn't it? I love that kind of claw hammer style of playing, or almost claw hammer. the guy that made this technique of up picking famous, it's where I kind of sort the technique out on ukulele is Pete Seeger. He always did this up picking frailing rather than the traditional kind of claw hammer, and it sounds really sweet. I think it's really really lovely. Some of you might have seen him played in that new Bob Dylan film, which is really good, isn't it? He's quite a big part at the start of it. Okay, not the actual Pete Seeger, of course, but someone pretending to be him. I can't think of the actor's name. Let's see, if there's any questions or anything, do ask as we go along. And really, really important to be reassured with this. If you haven't got this straight away, it doesn't matter. As long as you understand how it works, you can take it away and work on it slowly. That's the key thing. And that's the same with any one of these lessons. So don't worry if you can't play the piece straight away. I'm not sure even I could, not even I, like I'm some genius, I'm not sure I could do it without, you know, practicing it a bit. So don't sweat it, but as long as you know how to do it, that's the important thing. And then you spend some time perfecting it, basically. It's interesting. One of my students, I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't think it was Ted. I think it was, yeah, of course it is Anthony. One of my students, Anthony, online students, like with the website, he was asking me about performance and anxiety, and I get really nervous when I perform. You saw at the start, I practiced playing this all day on a tenor, and then I went to a soprano and I fumbled all over the place. But I wrote to him a really nice email with lots of practice tips and how to stay calm when you're performing. So if anyone's interested, I think I'm going to do a video and a blog about that. And maybe if anyone's interested, maybe even turn it into a Wednesday afternoon live lesson. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, genuinely, because that could be something we could do. It doesn't necessarily mean playing live on a stage. It could be a little open mic thing. It could just be playing to your family. It could be, you know, when you do a Facebook video or something like that. So if anyone find that useful, let me know. And I need to take my own advice. I still get nervous and fumble, as you saw at the start. Okay, right. Let's have a look at the next section. I haven't had any questions come in, but just let me know how you got on anyway, guys. You might be just picking away, getting used to it. So the next section follows exactly the same process, but we're just going higher up the fretboard and higher up the key of C. Thanks, Leslie. Fantastic. Yay, brilliant. I love it. I'm always looking for ideas for Wednesday lessons. So if you ever have any, ping them over, and that's great. That's another one sorted. So yeah, fantastic, fantastic. Okay then, let's have a look then. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the same process going, but this time we're going to go way, way up to measure 10 up here, 10th fret of our fretboard. You can always spot the 10th fret easily on any ukulele, because you know how the ukes have dots, don't they? Tend to be at 5, 7 and 10. Some ukes will also have a dot at 3. We'll notice that the 7th and 10th frets are the only dots here that have a gap of 2 in the middle. So it makes that 10th really easy to spot. On some ukes as well, you'll have a special double dot at the 12th. Mine doesn't. This is a Martin. Mine's just got an ordinary dot, but some will have a double dot there to tell you you're at the 12th, so you can just count back 2 to 10. But like you can see there, that big gap between the 2 dots taking you up to 10, which is really, really cool. Yeah, that's yeah, I have to remind myself that as well, Karen. You're dead right. Absolutely, you're dead right. Oh, good. It sounds like that's our next Wednesday. After the next one, we'll do a performance tips one. So yeah. Okay, fantastic. I kind of think that I'm in a good place to teach that, because even though I get really nervous, I've been through it myself massively. I used to get stage fright so bad that I'd actually vomit before I went on stage. So I've been through it, so I can totally empathise. All right, so we'll work through it together. We'll make us all better performers together at the same time, right? It will be great. Okay, right, I've gabbled on enough now. 10th fret up here. I'm going to use my little finger because it's a very narrow fret to pick this one. And notice we're going to strum down immediately afterwards again. If you find it hard to get purchase on that string with your nail because you're hitting the fretboard, you can always just drop back a little bit, like so. So rather than picking here, I'll often do that when I need to dig in. Okay, so 10. And then similar to what we did lower down the fretboard, we can do these quick notes and strums. We're going to pick up on 7, down on 8, up on 10, and then we're going to strum again. It'll sound like this. Now the important thing here, which I think is really, really key, is to don't worry about are you on an up or a down. Just keep that constant up and down going. In fact, if I play it quite quick, I'll play it from that bit for you, the chorus bit. The entire song I do this up and down, and I never stop even on the verses. Sorry. See how it's just a constant up and down, and that way you don't have to think, am I on an up or a down? You just have to just keep that going and then just look at the numbers, which makes it a lot easier, I think. Karen says her Ohana birdies for fret markers has a birdie on the 9th. Oh, that would drive me mad. Oh yeah, I went, you know, when I went to Hawaii a few years ago, Karen, I went and visited a guy called Sean Iacovone. If anyone's interested, he's got an amazing ukulele place called Ukulele Friend, and he does some really high-end ukuleles, but he also has lots of historic ukuleles, and he doesn't hoard them. He's so good. He shares them with the Bishop Museum, and if anyone visits him, he'll just get them out. And he got all these ukes out for me to try. It's super exciting. But he wanted me to do some demos for him, and I did a few ukuleles, and then he really wanted me to do a demo of a Kamaka guitar because I've been playing some slap key guitar. You know, not very good. I'm learning really. I've been taking lessons with Jeff Peterson, who's brilliant. But he gave me this Kamaka guitar. And interestingly, Karen, it's kind of the opposite. So normally a guitar will have the fret marker on the 9th, and ukuleles will have it on the 10th. But this Kamaka guitar, I guess maybe because it's made by Kamaka, who made more ukuleles, it had the fret marker on the 10th. And it was just this one dot being out, but it completely threw me. I couldn't play up the fretboard. I just kept putting my finger in the wrong place. So yeah, it's easy to do. So Karen and Indrani are both just saying they're getting their ups and downs mixed up. So let's see if we can kind of combat that so you guys can all get it right. I think the key thing really is to keep a really slow, steady rhythm and just always come up and down. At no point in the song is there a point where you don't go up and down like this. You're always up and always down. So no matter what happens with the melody, look. So what you could do is just practice just coming up and down. The tricky bit is that the first bit, some of the downs are on the same fret, aren't they? Like that. Whereas the next one, you've got to introduce a finger. Practice that with me, guys. We're going to do 10, 7, 8, 10. 7, 8, 10, and then you're going to pull back to 7, 5 and 3. Okay, let's do it together. 1 and 2 and 10, 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, 7, 5, 3. Really good. So it's tricky, yeah, because like Indrani's saying, it's because these fingers are playing on the offbeats, it hurts your mind a little bit. It's a bit like that classic kind of patting your head and rubbing your tummy, but you'll find it absolutely fine. Joe's just saying he's finding, or sorry, Joe, she's finding it difficult to use her fingernail plucking up and is plucking down, probably because of claw hammer, and asking, is there a drawback to doing that? It's kind of awkward, to be honest, Joe. It depends how quick you are. If you're quick enough, it's okay to do the claw hammer style. That would look a bit more like this, wouldn't it? Sorry, I do that again. And without the thumb. I think that would be fine. The only reason I like to do the up picks, as well as it sounding just a little bit less aggressive, sometimes the claw hammer can sound quite aggressive, is just the speed, because you can keep that up and down thing. I find it quite quick to go this fast claw hammer style, but if I do up pick, you can get crazy fast. Because you're always just going up and down, because you're there on down. And this is why I kind of like it for quick claw hammer as well. I quite often do a wildwood flower. I do a similar thing. And notice if I do that traditional claw hammer style, there's a lot more hand movement, but that way there's not so much hand movement. So it's just a way of getting quicker, to be honest, Joe. Just a way of getting quicker. So yeah, try not to think into it. Try not to think of individual fingers, Karen. Just think pick down, pick down, pick down. No matter what you're doing, just pick down all the time. Again, just practice. And no matter what your fingers do, just practice going up and down. You can even do a little practice going 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Sounds horrible because of the chords. And then you could practice where you're putting a finger down every other beat, and that would just really help you to differentiate between the two. All right, but let's just try it one more time. Going up to 10. I'll just play it one more time. 7, 8, 10. 7, 8, 10. 5. Sorry, 7, 5, 3. Then notice we've got those 2 0 0 1s again, haven't we? Which is hinting at an F chord, and that's exactly what we do here. We have a little F chord like this, with that finger down, finger off and on, and then we go back to those C's. Okay, I put all that together from the 10s. This is measure 17, really nice and slowly. It will look and sound like this. Sorry, do that again. F with a C added, 3 of those, and then off on. We're back to this one. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, really, really nice. And that's almost the whole of the B section, if you like. There's a little bit extra that kind of ties it together to the ending, and I'll show you what that sounds like. So this is going from measure 25. So yeah, second measure up down the bottom. All right, and that's going to sound like this. Let me come in on close. I'm still doing my double bar, but notice I'm picking the E string I lift off the A string and pick up and down, flatten back down again, and then I pick up here and add a finger on 5. Could be the third one if you find it more comfortable, or your little. Okay, I do that again from measure 25. Okay, that's quite sweet, isn't it? Let's do it together. 1 and 2 and... Sorry, I went wrong. Here we go. 1 and 2 and lift up, back down, add your finger to 5. Okay. Then we just go up to 7, strum down on 5, 7 and then 8. Okay, that's the last measure of that page. Just repeating something we did earlier, and then we can come back down, just bring it back down. 7, okay, and then 5, hit the G7, and then we finish off with these Cs. Okay. Let me do the whole of that B section to the end. So I'm going to go from measure 17, second measure of the third line down, and you can have a listen. Remember, if you're not quite there yet, it's only the principle that you need to get and how it works, and then just take it away and work on it. You'll get this. I'm absolutely sure of it. Okay, so let me go nice and slowly. So from 10, 10, 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, 7, 5, 3, and then your little finger or your third for the F chords, off on, and then your bar hitting that E string. And now this time we're going to go up the fretboard as we go. 3, lift off for A, back down, 3, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8. Just flick the page quickly. Okay, back to 7, 3 more 7s, quick 5 to G7. That's probably one of the hardest bits, isn't it? There you go, really nice, right? And that's basically the whole principle to this way of playing, and making two instruments sound like one. And the reason it works is because you have those constant backbeat strums, 1 and 2 and 3, and I shouldn't go to 3 because it's too 4 timing. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And that's suggesting your accompaniment, right? Thanks, Joe. Okay, that's your accompaniment. And then the lead part. And then when you put that together, don't stop that hand checking down. Right? Magic! Magic, right? It's really cool, isn't it? It's really, really neat. Now, what you can do, if you want to, you don't have to do this, but just in case anyone's interested, you can make it sound even prettier and even nicer, I think, by just adding a thumb pick. Now, you know how at the start we have some notes that just some melody notes that last for a whole beat, 1 and 2 and 3, and 4, and. So then lasting a beat each. And then the next bit, each melody note's half a beat. Half a beat? I finally lost it, guys. Half a beat, not half a beach. Maybe I'd like to be on the beach. I don't know. Oh, hi, Barbara. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, guys. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Much, much appreciated. So the next bit, like I say, is half a beat, or as I should say, half a beat. Okay. So let me do that again just to differentiate, because it's really important between the two. So these are a whole beat. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then the next ones are half a beat. 1 and 2 and 3. See how that's changing quicker, basically, half a beat each. Could be a beech tree, couldn't it, Andrani? Yeah, I like a beech tree. Especially in the summer. If you ever hug a beech tree in the summer, they're the ones with that really nice plain bark. They always feel really cool and lovely. So there you go. If you're feeling hot, go into the woods and hug a beech tree. I can highly recommend it. We have lots here. That's how I know. Okay. And I do like hugging trees because I'm a bit of a weirdo like that. Joseph's just saying, is it useful to learn the melody first and get that under your fingers and then add the brush drum? To be honest, Joseph, I think it would. Yeah, I think it would. And I kind of did that with the verse, but I didn't do it with the chorus with you guys or the bridge. I think that's a really wise idea. Actually, I'll keep that down the bottom. So what I would do is maybe do it in chunks. So maybe get the melody to the verse first. Like so. And then you could even practice just the chucks. If you just hold a C chord. Da, 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 da. Notice the consistency. It's always coming down on the same beat. And then put the two together. Melody note strum, melody note strum, melody note strum. And then this bit quicker. What I would probably do is, rather than doing the melody for the whole song and then the chords, I would probably do that for the verse and then practice it with the chords together, and then the second part of the verse, practice it with the chords together, and chunk it up, if that makes sense, like that, which is interesting. The word book comes from the German book. I'll leave that on screen because people might find that interesting about the word book coming from beech trees. I love etymology like that. It's really, really fascinating. Really cool. That makes complete sense, doesn't it? Yeah, cool. Okay, guys, so let's have a look at this fancy pants thing that you can do. If you want to, on the bits where you've got a whole beat for a pick and a strum, after you've done that up pick and the down strum, you can add your thumb picking the G string. In clawhammer, they call that the ditty. Imagine this is the bum, bum, or picking up is the bum, bum, if you excuse the pun. When I come down, instead of just that, I'm going to allow my thumb to just tap the G string. And notice it kind of, you get the sound of a bum ditty. Bum, ditty, bum, ditty, bum, ditty, bum, ditty. Basically, you're breaking one beat down into a triplet. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a. The key to this, guys, is that keeping this thumb a distance away from your finger when you pick. What you don't want to do is have your thumb here and then you kind of have to extend it out because that's more movement. If you keep it roughly there. Can you see how easy that is then? And as you pick down with the thumb, try not to go down too much in this direction, which takes your hand away. Try coming out from the uke. All right, so instead of going down, come out. And just practice this with me. I'm holding the 7th fret just because that's the first note of the song. And just practice with me. Bum, ditty, bum, ditty, bum, ditty, bum, ditty. Okay. Okay. Let's practice changing between two notes. We're going to go 7 with a bum ditty, 3 with a bum ditty. Okay, I'll do that again. Neat, huh? 2, 1 and 2 and 1. Then you can do the same thing when you pick this G note, the 3rd fret of the E string. And the same when you go back to this 3. Okay, have a listen. Bum, ditty, bum, ditty, bum, ditty, bum, ditty. Okay, and again you can practice that as slow as you like. And then you can speed it up a little bit. You can see how you can kind of you can kind of speed that up over time. Joe's just saying, think she can start doing the up pick when claw hammering. Yeah, Joe, I much prefer it. Yeah, I really do. I used to do, if you ever want a warning about claw hammer picking and ukuleles, have a look at this. You've probably already seen this, but this is my 5-string tenor Phil Davidson, which I use for a lot of finger picking. But see this all up here. This is where I've claw hammered on it, and it's kind of ended up wearing away the wood. I think if I kept going like that, eventually I might get a hole there. So yeah, I feel a lot more relaxed when I up pick, and I think it kind of gives a smoother sound, which is really nice. I think James Hill does a lot of this technique as well, where he does an up pick rather than a traditional claw hammer pick. So yeah. Oh, don't worry, Fran, it's not that easy for me to do, don't worry. I've just got catchphrases that I say without thinking. Easy peasy lemon squeezy and all that. But none of this is easy, but it just takes time, right? Just be really, really gentle with yourself. And you could slow it down even further, right? Let's show you. I'll show you that again. What I can do is really I reckon you could do that. Try it with me after 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and actually let me slow it down. 1 and 2 and 1. Help if I put my finger in the right place. I'm so sorry. 1 and 2 and again, same bit. You could just practice it round and round like this. 7, ditty, 3, ditty, 3, ditty, 3, ditty, 7, ditty, 3, ditty, 3, ditty, 3, ditty, E, C, G, C. Okay. Now, what you do with the next bit is you'll be relieved to know that you actually keep it the same as before, because there's so many notes happening that you can't really do the ditty on the next bit, you know, where there's a melody note every half step. So that's basically the first 2 measures. Then the next 2 measures I'll just do exactly as I was doing before. I might put a ditty on that one. And on that one. All right, let me try that really, really slowly so you can hear it. Oh, see, I go wrong sometimes. I do that again whilst I'm concentrating. Okay, and then this bit you could do the ditties on as well. So anytime you've got a whole beat, that's where you're going to put those ditties in, basically. Indrani, I would try actually saying ditty out loud and see if that helps. I'll show you what I mean. So your ditty is your fingers and thumb, right? So you could actually say bum, ditty, bum, sorry. Bum, ditty, bum, ditty, bum, ditty, bum, ditty. And then normal. Bum ditty. Bum ditty. Bum ditty. Bum ditty. Bum ditty off. Bum bum ditty. Bum ditty. Bum ditty. Bum ditty. Okay. It's a tough skill, like I say, because it's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your tummy. But trust me, you will get it, because I've taught so many private students over the years that said to me they would never be able to do claw hammer, can't do the two things at the same time, and yet they can do them. And think back to when you guys. Think back to when you guys started out on ukulele, and even just doing anything other than strumming up and down was really tough. Like, you probably thought, like, chord melody, I'm never going to be able to do chord melody. And I know from our Facebook videos that so many of you do. Finger picking, all this stuff. And this is just another one of those processes you've just got to keep repeating until it becomes muscle memory. And it's so lovely, because eventually, I promise, I'm not just saying this, eventually you'll just feel you'll feel it relaxed and natural, and you'll be able to go a little bit quicker each time. And you know, that's kind of quick stuff that I was doing. Like, I didn't start playing it that fast. I would start with and then I'd speed it up a little bit. So you got to really start slow and be really patient with yourself. It doesn't sound so great slow. That's why so many people get so frustrated with it. But it'll click eventually, and you'll be able to go faster, and you'll feel a lot better. I'm absolutely sure. Thanks, Liam. There's all sorts of songs that sound good like this. I really like old time tunes. So the one I was just doing there was Wildwood Flower. And if you're interested, on my fingerstyle course, I do a version of it. There's a live lesson as well that I did of Wildwood Flower in this style, so you can see it. So I'm still doing the same thing, look. This is the melody note to Wildwood Flower. And then I add the up and down. And then I add the claw hammer. And it sounds nice. One thing I would recommend, did you notice I caught one of the strings there and it went all a bit twangy? I need to cut my nail a little bit. I like longer nails, but can you see I've got like a square edge here on this side. It's slightly square. What I need to do is just round that off a bit. And you can have long nails or short nails, but just make sure the ends of them are kind of rounded off, because sometimes that square bit, like it just happened with me, when you do the ditty bit, it'll kind of get caught on the string and you'll get a horrible twanging sounds. So yeah, try and avoid that. Yeah, some other good ones. I'm trying to think. I think I used to do Angelina Baker. Sounds really, really nice. Let me see if I can remember it. Oh, that's it. Something like that, isn't it? All those sort of ones. I Had a Bulldog. That's really nice as well for this. Those old time ones just sound great. Oh, Liam, another one, just because I just thought of it. Freight Train. When I do that live, I'll sometimes go really slow at the start, like the train is leaving the station. And then speed up. That's fun. There's if you like that, there's I've done a ukulele lesson on that. That's on the, I think it's on a fingerstyle course, but if you check on the website, I think there's also a live lesson. That was inspired by James Hill's Duets for One piece, where if you're interested in a book version of it, he's got a book called Duets for One, which uses a lot of similar, not exactly the same, but similar techniques to these, and it's really really worth checking out, Liam, if you haven't already. So probably got a copy here in my bookcase somewhere that I can show you. Let's see. Is it there? Oh, I can't get any of these books out. They're so squished up together. Terrible. So, yeah, Duets for One. Just look it up on Amazon by James Hill, which is a really, really good one. So that's a technique. If you want to, you can apply this all the way through the song. I won't bore you with explaining every measure by measure now, but that's the basic technique, that where you've got a gap, you're going to add and where you haven't, keep it the same as before. Whoops. Okay, like that, which sounds really, really sweet as well. No worries, Liam. I think it's gonna, some people, this will drive absolutely up the wall, but if you want to, you can add a few little kind of extra fancy bits in as well, which is what I often do when I do it live. So sometimes to get even more notes in, rather than just, I'll add like maybe a hammer on. So you know that bit before it goes back to the G, where it stays on here for ages? I'll often hammer onto. That sounds really sweet because you get the sound of two notes here. Like that. And then you get the ditty. Which is really nice. Okay, so that's something that you can do to kind of spice it up. And one last thing, and then I'll finish off here and see if there's any questions, because I can tell we're all getting tired. I am. Because there's quite a lot to think about on a Monday evening, isn't it? I know, Fran, sorry, I couldn't help myself. I'm just going daft. It's like another level. But the other thing that you can do, it just sounds really nice, and this is just altering the melody. Some people, when they play it on banjo, will do the backing vocal on it. So you know how it goes, one fine, I'm trying to remember the lyrics. When this life is fly away. Now at the moment we're just hitting this fly away. But if you want to, when you get to this bit, fly away, you could add some of those trills there. And you can also add that in the morning. See if I can remember it. That's it. When you get to that bit, you can just add a couple of extra notes. So I'm hitting the G here, lifting off here. Let me just, no, hitting it on first. There it is. So G, C, A, G. And that's just if you want to add that backing vocal in. Fly away in the morning. It's just like a little extra level that I put in, but you don't have to add it in if you don't want to. And then when you put all the bells and whistles in, let's give it a go. I'll probably go wrong again because, like I say, there's a lot going on here, and that's fine, right? But you get so. That's the bit it's just sang you about, right? There's the hammer on. That was yeah. That hammer on again. Cha cha cha. There you go. So just a bit of fun if you want to try that. But yeah, that technique is so powerful once you get the hang of it. You can do it on so many songs, and it just sounds really, really great. What I'll do, I'll probably go wrong because I don't know, I haven't prepared this and I don't know if I know them all off by heart, but I'll try seeing if I can do a bit of a old-time chord melody like I used to do, chord medley even. Let me know if you've got any questions whilst I do that, and then I'll just say, I'll stop to say goodbye in a minute. I used to, let's see if I can remember. That's it. Yeah, I do. Something like that. I'm just enjoying myself now and being a wally. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Yeah, it's a lovely funeral song, isn't it? Because it's got that kind of nice "I'll fly away," you know, somewhere better and all that. It's sweet, isn't it? Yeah, it's a great one. And yeah, old time music sounds so great on sopranos, doesn't it? I like it on this modern Martin. It's a bit beat up. It's got scratches and stuff, but I love it on a vintage Martin. Sort of old time sounds great on a vintage Martin. If anyone's got a banjolele, old time sounds great on banjoleles as well. I used to have a nice Mayamoe banjolele. I sold it and I kind of regretted it ever since because old time music sounded amazing on that. Aaron Kaimi makes Bean Sprout makes wonderful banjo ukuleles as well, so definitely worth looking at. Yeah, that's a great idea, Leslie. I'm always up for old time tunes. Oh, sorry. If you did enjoy it, guys, and you'd like more of this stuff, there's a few old time tunes on my fingerstyle course. So just go to I've for some reason I've lost my I don't know how I did that. I've lost my little Dewberry, which has my website on down here, but I'll put it back on there now so you can see it. mattsteadukulele.com. And let's see if I can do it. New text overlay. There we go. This might do it. Oh, I'll do it later. It's boring me talking you through what I'm doing. But yeah, mattsteadukulele.com. Go and check it out, and then go to the fingerstyle course. And on the fingerstyle course, there's 2 or 3 old time songs. There's Wildwood Flower. I think there might be Freight Train. And I'm pretty sure there's this one as well, I'll Fly Away. Also on the live lessons, if you go to my archive of live lessons, just click live and then go to Fortnightly Workshop Archive. And there you'll find I've got loads of live lessons, and I went through a phase a couple of years ago of doing loads of these old time ones. So there's things, I think there is Wildwood Flower, I think there's a few others. There's I Had a Bulldog, which is really nice. Freight Train, this one, there's more, I can't remember them off the top of my head, but yeah, there's all sorts on there, so check it out. And there's also, I did a claw hammer, there's a couple of claw hammer pieces on my album that I've tabbed out as well in the fingerstyle course. Cider with Rosie is one of them, check that out. I can't remember the name of the other one. But yeah, check that out, that's on there as well. And there was something else as well that I wanted to tell you, I can't remember. I think there's a couple in the blues and jazz course as well, and a couple on the intermediate course. So yeah, do remember to check those out if you can. Hit the thumbs up button if you could, guys. That'll really help the algorithm pick me up on YouTube, which always helps me. And if you enjoyed this, just please recommend me to your friends, and that'd mean the world to me. So coming up, Canacapila next Monday, we're going to do a Beatles special. I'm going to make you sick to death of the Beatles over the next couple of weeks, and then I'll stop bombarding you with them. But Beatles special next Monday, which I'm super excited about. And then the next live lesson, which isn't this Wednesday, but it's next Wednesday, we've got a lovely version of Across the Universe. We're going to do both that strummed, but we're also going to do a chord melody version. So if you enjoyed this chord melody, do check that out. Thanks Linda, Across the Universe, we're going to do next. And then also there's Strawberry Fields Forever. I've done a nice version of that on the Beatles course. Just go to mattsteadukulele.com Beatles and you'll find that. And then we'll be back in another 2 weeks for another Melodic Mondays. For that one, I was working on it today. What is it we're doing? Moon River. Yeah, we're going to do Moon River in 2 weeks' time. It's one of my favourite tunes. Henry Mancini. Absolutely beautiful. So check that out as well. There's always stuff happening. If you haven't already done it, sign up to my mailing list and you'll get a weekly email with everything that's happening when. And you can check it out my website as well. I've got the next 3 live lessons directly on the homepage, which makes them easier to find. So hopefully that will be good. Oh, well done, Laura. Absolutely fantastic. It sounds great without the bum ditty anyway. It sounds really nice and clean that way, Laura. So, yeah, don't feel you have to stick those bum ditties in. They're just for fun. They just sound fun, don't they? And good when you do it. And if you are in the UK and you're not otherwise indisposed, come and see me in a couple of weeks' time where I'm playing at Shriekfest. So this is up in Shrewsbury, and there's 3 days of ukulele mayhem. It's going to be loads and loads of fun. And that's up in Shrewsbury, and that's the 1st to the 3rd of August, which is going to be loads of fun. And I might be a bit haggard looking because I think I'm going to camp over. So, and it's a long time since I stayed in a tent. So But it will be good. And I'm thinking of doing a Beatles special for that, which is going to be loads of fun as well. I think I'm going to do a few songs of my own, and then I'm going to do the rest of the set. It's going to be Beatles songs. I'm even going to attempt a live version of A Day in the Life, which should be good fun. So with all the kind of crazy bits. So that'll be fun. And finally, don't forget, our ukulele cruise is filling up nicely, so come and join us. We're going to have a wonderful time. There's still places available. That's 13th to the 22nd of February in the Caribbean, and the itinerary of this year's, or next year's I should say, is just incredible. Fort Lauderdale from Florida is a beautiful hotel you can stay at and have a swim the day before you go out. St. Kitts in Antigua as well. San Juan, Puerto Rico, I've never been there before. Dominican Republic, and then back to Fort Lauderdale. So a really nice mix. And I'm honestly, genuinely will say that was the last one we did was one of the best times I ever had. So I think you'll enjoy that. So do check it out if you can. Okay, I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see you next Monday for Canacapila, if not before. Take care, everyone. Much love. And, oh, sorry. Don't go. Karen just reminded me to tell you about something. There's a couple of places at the retreat going this summer, if anyone's interested. A couple of people weren't able to go. So if you didn't manage to get a ticket and you really wanted to come to the summer retreat this year, please get in touch. It's going to be a wonderful one. You've got Grammy Award winning Jeff Peterson, our amazing resident tutor Sam Muir. We've also got Victoria Vox coming. She's filling in for Lester T. Webb, who unfortunately can't make it. And then we're going to have, of course, who are we going to have? Peter Luongo! Pete Luongo, the amazing Pete Luongo, who taught James Hill how to play. I mean, how good is that? What an interstellar lineup. That's end of August, very last weekend of August. We do also have places available for the Christmas ukulele retreat as well. So we've got Phil Dolman playing there, who's amazing. Christopher Davis Shannon, myself, Father Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Come and join us in the forest for roaring log fires and loads of fun. So do check those out. Just go to my events page on the website and follow links, all sorts of fun stuff. So, and hopefully I'll see a load of you next month. Mad to think, isn't it? It's only just over a month away, which is super exciting. Anyway, I'm babbling on now, so I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a wonderful week, and we'll catch up soon, guys.